Lasted how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did, sir.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is this still
CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also. I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am?
Born on April 29th, 1954, in Brooklyn, New York, Jerome Allen Seinfeld grew up in a Jewish family. His father was a sign maker, and his mother was a homemaker.
What was their parenting style?
Complete neglect. Absolute, total neglect. It worked for me. It made me very independent. They were both orphans, so they had a natural independence.
Both your parents were orphans?
Yes.
Now, your parents were both orphans.
Mm-hmm.
Did that create any unusual home life? What was that?
I think it did. There was a very, what I call a benign neglect in my house. I was like a raccoon to my parents. I mean, you kind of know it's around, but you don't really know where it is, you know. They had no interest in any of my activities, school, grades, social life, health, safety, or education.
From a young age, Jerry had a knack for making people laugh.
And Manhattan is where I live. Manhattan, as you know, is the site of the tramway. The tramway is this new thing that they have on Roosevelt Island. It's a cable car that goes back and forth between Manhattan and Roosevelt Island. I think that this is a terrific thing. The city's on the verge of bankruptcy. They're putting up rides for us, and next thing you know, we'll have a roller coaster through the ghetto.
Even as a kid, he had this incredible ability to observe the world around him and find humor in the simplest things.
Animals, I like to talk about animals. You know an animal I would say gets the worst treatment of any animal, the most cruelty? You want to guess? The lobster. Look at what we do to this guy. Catch him, kill him, eat him, boil him alive. That's not enough. We want to see him in the tank as we come into the restaurant sweating it out.
In the late 1970s, Jerry began his stand-up career in New York City's comedy scene.
Jewish kid became my good friend. I don't like to mention his name, but we were there the same night.
He honed his craft at small clubs, developing a unique style that focused on the minutia of everyday life.
You know, when I'm arguing with a smoker, if they got the cigarette and I don't have it, it's just like they got me.
Jerry's observational humor was groundbreaking. He turned mundane situations into hilarious stories that everyone could relate to.
Well, you know, when a brother or sister gets married, the way you know them, you can't believe anyone would marry them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, what they're in for.
In 1989, Jerry teamed up with fellow comedian Larry David to create Seinfeld, a show that would change television forever.
Well, what's the show about? It's about nothing.
Dubbed A Show About Nothing, it explored the lives of four friends navigating the ups and downs of life in New York City.
Was it truly a pitch about a show about nothing when you actually pitched it?
No, never.
What was the original pitch like?
The original pitch was how a comedian gets his material, which Larry and I knew we were lying when we said it, because nobody wants to see that. It's not interesting.
Seinfeld was revolutionary. It broke traditional sitcom molds and introduced audiences to a new kind of humor, one that was relatable and often absurd.
You know, I just thought of something. I know this gorgeous woman. She called me up this morning. She's moving into the city, and she asked me if I know of anyone she can meet. Now, you can go out with her.
Well, what about me?
No, I think he's got you beat, buddy.
The show's blend of clever writing and memorable characters quickly made it a cultural phenomenon.
Why is the show so successful, do you think?
I think it's handmade. This is a sitcom that is not processed through a network, through a large studio system. It's a few people working on this thing, and we're just doing what we think is funny. And the cast is amazing. It's an amazing group of talent. I mean, each one of the people in our cast could easily hold down their own show.
Seinfeld wasn't just a show, it was a cultural event. It influenced everything from fashion to language.
Wheels of the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the bus go round
has nothing on,
nothing.
The woman across the block has nothing on, nothing on, all through the day.
After Seinfeld ended in 1998, Jerry continued to thrive in comedy.
The dating world is a world of pressure. Let's face it, a date is a job interview that lasts all night. The only difference between a date and a job interview is not many job interviews. Is there a chance you'll end up naked at the end of it? You know.
He released several successful stand-up specials and ventured into producing animated films like B-Movie.
What happened?
I just tried to talk to these guys. Hi. Then there was a dustbuster, a toupee, a life raft exploded. Now one's bald, one's in a boat, and they're both unconscious.
In 2012, he launched Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Michael? Jerry, would you like to get a coffee? Definitely. Come over. I'll be there in a few minutes. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jerry Seinfeld, and this is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Showcasing his love for cars and conversations with fellow comedians.
This is a 1963 Corvette Stingray in silver blue with a blue interior, kind of a dark purplish upholstery. Killer.
Offstage, Jerry is a devoted family man. He married Jessica Sklar in 1999, and they have 3 children together. Despite his fame, he maintains a relatively private life.
Hello.
Hello, you look so perfect.
Are you wearing your white socks on TV? Oh.
Yeah.
Jerry's ability to find humor in everyday life is what sets him apart. He's a master at what he does.
Every second of my existence, I'm thinking, could I do something with that?
So it doesn't bother you that, like, when you're with your wife, are you authentically with your wife, or are you saying, ooh, what she just said is universal and I can relate to that?
No, I'm not authentically with her, nor am I authentically with you right now.
Right. You are somewhere else.
No.
There's material
in here?
Yeah, I'm looking for a joke right now. And guess what? There's nothing here.
Jerry Seinfeld's influence on comedy is undeniable. He has inspired countless comedians and continues to be a prominent figure in the entertainment industry.
Seinfeld, like he's 8 years in a row, with 1 year on Fortune magazine, he was the #1 money-making comedian in the world. In the world.
As we reflect on his remarkable journey from a young boy in Brooklyn to one of the most celebrated comedians of all time, Jerry Seinfeld remains a testament to the power of laughter. His legacy lives on through his work and the joy he brings to audiences around the world.
I always wanted to be a comedian. My whole life I wanted to be a comedian. It's 20 years later. I am a comedian. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Seinfeld.